Today on The Bob Dodd Show. In studio, we have a talented human being. Using his skills from his military and private security background, he has become a successful grip in the motion picture industry. It is my pleasure to introduce Chris Moore. All right, everybody. Thank you for stopping by, watching The Bob Dodd Show. I have today in studio a good friend of mine. I worked with him on Superman and got to know him real good working in Cleveland. My friend, Chris Moore. Chris, thank you for coming in. It's truly an honor to have someone who I wanted to be friends with, wanted to get to know, actually say yes to come on in.
Well, Bob, I appreciate you having me on, man. You're an awesome dude, and
Thank you. Thank you.
I really appreciate it.
Yeah, one of the things that I just wanted to hang out and chit chat about, I don't know if you remember in Superman, I was like basically telling you I wanted you to be my singer in my heavy metal band. I don't know if you remember that or not.
No, I do. I remember telling you about how I, back when I was in the Marines in California, I had a little, kind of like a garage metal band.
Yeah.
We were called Condition One Weapon. And
that sounds awesome.
yeah, no, I mean, it was cool. We didn't do anything with it. We just jammed out, got drunk together, and I screamed on the mic a little bit,
Dude, you should scream on this mic. Yeah, dude. I love the fact that you were like, yeah, let's do it if you want, really. I mean, I was like, cool, man,
Yeah,
cool.
dude, no, I mean, I'm open to a lot of things, man.
Yeah. I wanted to hear more about like your musical background. Like, I don't know, did you play instruments at all?
Unfortunately, no. I always wanted to. My mother got me a acoustic guitar. I think when I was like 10 years old.
Okay.
I never took any lessons to learn how to play properly. I just kind of strummed on it,
Well, that's okay.
but that's about the extent,
Yeah. I mean, I tried real hard to play music at one point, and I haven't really played it all, but I have a bunch of instruments that I give my kids. And the love of music is still there, and the idea of being in a band still pops up every once in a while.
Oh, yeah.
And when you told me that you were a shitty singer, I was like, dude, I'm a shitty guitar player, dude. We should make a shitty rock band or metal band or something.
Yeah,
like we could
that'd be
just
cool.
bark into mics, and who cares? People will still show up.
Right, as long as the tune's good and it gets people moving.
Yeah. Man, Cleveland was a ton of fun, man, just working on Superman with you. I don't know how much we're allowed to talk about Superman, but that was a great bunch of dudes. And
Oh, dude, I had a good time out there. I still remember the day that we drove through downtown on the Gator, man.
yeah,
And you did a donut in the intersection. I don't know if I'm allowed to even talk about that, but
yeah, who
that
knew
was fun.
Gators can do donuts?
I know. And we had the music going, everything. It was fun.
That was a good time. It was like it was kind of like rainy and pouring down rain a little bit here and there throughout the day. I feel like the group that was with us, it didn't matter if it was pouring down rain. We were having a good time.
Oh, yeah.
Cleveland allowed us to have a good time.
Yeah,
Shout
it
out to
was.
Cleveland.
Yeah. Cleveland, Ohio, man.
Yeah.
Good times.
I think Cleveland, Ohio holds the record for me, the amount of money asks from my hotel to location. I think I had 13 money asks in one day.
It was tough. Anytime I'd go out and try to have a cigarette, I'd be approached.
Yeah.
Let me get $1. I don't have $1. Can I get 50 cents? Like, whoa.
Dude, I love the way Jason Charles handled those dudes.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
get away from me.
Yeah. He's like, man, I need money too.
Shout out to Jason Charles and all the crew. I asked Jared, every once in a while how he's doing. He's doing okay. I don't think he's in Georgia. I think he's still in Florida.
He's a good dude, man. Last I spoke with him, I think he's doing some construction work on a show out here. I think.
Is he?
I think.
Oh,
he
if he's
did
here,
say
then
he was here, yeah.
I'd like to have him on too.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Dude,
Definitely
his
a
art is
dude.
good. Yeah. All of our friends, all of the people that we surround ourselves with, I feel like have something to offer that's more than just gripping and movie work.
Absolutely.
Like your talents. I mean, dude, we were talking about this before we were recording. So one of the skill sets that you carry is sewing, and people out there listening in the film world, sewing's very important, especially when we're sewing these big, thick rags that are very heavy. So those seams, they got to be top notch, and they can't be just crappy seams. They'll get ripped.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a good skill to have. It's a rare skill in this industry. You know, not I mean, outside of the I guess the movie houses they call them, or the rag places where you can just go and rent these rags. You know, knowing how to sew is a rare skill. It's a very handy skill. I mean, I used it out when we were in Cleveland working for Kent.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he brought me out there as a just in case, you know, like if something
Yeah.
happens, and guess what? Something happened. We had a rag rip,
A big,
and
important
big
rag.
one, a big one, yeah, on a big 60 by 60 overhead. I was
Yeah.
on a crane,
Yeah.
ripped. They're shooting that day. All right, let's get that rag down. We just got it down, threw it in the back of your truck, and drove it over to where my sewing machine was. I stitched it up real quick and brought it back.
Yeah.
You know,
Think about moving a cow.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like this rag. I mean, when we say rag, it is material. It's tapestry. It's like a blend of certain plastics and vinyls or what have you. And it's a fabric that are one side is black and then the other side is like a white. And it's kind of got this plastic feel, so it's real heavy, especially a 60 by 60.
Yes.
And seeing Chris, basically, you know, him and. Dude, I seen you pick it up by yourself one too many times because all I'm sitting there thinking is like, where's the medic, dude? He's picking this up and putting it on the back of a tractor trailer right now. It's like 4 feet off the ground. It's literally like, I don't know. What do you think a rag like that weighs? 180 pounds?
Easy.
200 pounds?
Especially all balled up and it was
Yeah.
a little wet too. It's slick too. Those are slick.
It's just so hard to hold. And
It's a pain.
Dude,
you
just
know.
seeing you move that shit around, I was like, dude, man, he's going to blow his L7 out or something.
Yeah.
Man. But yeah, that's a superpower, and people don't realize like what goes into movie stuff. You know, that 60 by 60 rag, it takes a team of dudes to put it on a frame, and it takes a team of dudes to build that frame.
Yes.
So
Yes.
not only are you good at sewing and making sure shit's not going to fall apart, you're good at like building all the frames and all that grip work. You know, you're a grip that sews. That is rare. I don't know
Well,
too
I
many.
appreciate it. Yeah. No, I mean, I try to show up and, you know, be, what's the word? Be useful as useful as I can
Yeah,
be. You know,
yeah.
that's the goal, you know?
Yeah, good team out there, man. I feel like that being out there, I've said this on other podcasts and probably too much in general, but what an awesome group to be allowed to work
Oh, that was a great crew.
together.
That was a phenomenal crew. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody that, you know, even especially that crew, the crew that we had in Cleveland, just we all had been working that entire show together. So,
Yeah, shout out to the Cleveland Grips too.
I mean, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, those are some cool dudes, man. I had some good times with those guys. You know, Derek was a cool dude, man. I miss that guy. Shout out to Derek out there.
Dan and
Dan.
all the other guys. Who's the dude from Canada that they made like they gave him a hard time every
Yeah,
once in a while?
I cannot remember his name, and he was such a cool kid.
Yeah, he was smart too.
Oh,
I
my
like
goodness.
those guys
He
were
was
real
gonna
nice.
go places for sure. You know,
Yeah.
he had a great attitude, and
Yeah.
that is
That's the
key.
All
you
those
know,
dudes
that's the
had
key, yeah.
had good skills
Yes.
and good attitudes, which made, I think, our time there like easier and fun.
Yeah.
You know, because they had fun, we had fun. They made money, we made some money,
Yeah.
you know. And, you know, if for folks that don't know about the film industry, when outsiders come to your city, you know, most of the time they're with the film. So they're the core crew.
Yes.
And a lot of times when it's a big show like Superman, the native people to the city or the native union, they're, you know, they kind of like, I don't want to say they get the raw end of the deal, but they are there for a small portion of the
Yes.
time. And you have a crew that comes in with the film that is already a well-oiled machine. And, you know, a lot of times the locals become, you know, part of that team in a manner where either they're assisting or they're going to go ahead and take the projects for like the local stuff where they know what they're doing there.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense to folks out there. But yeah, man, Cleveland was an awesome time seeing everybody there, getting to meet everybody. You know, I feel when we came back, we filmed for a week, and then it was like time to wrap it up and time to go.
I know.
And Kent Baker, the movie maker, him and Slink, they had to get back to California real quick, and they were basically saying goodbye, you know, while the show was departing, and it was like, oh man, this show's ending now. I mean, the key is gone. You know, Steve left, and now it's time to say goodbye to my local friends. I wonder if I'm going to get a chance to see them or hang out with them again. So, and that was August, you know?
Yeah.
So it's been a while since I saw you.
Yeah. Yeah. It's always rough at the end of a show.
Yeah.
You know, especially when it's a good show like Superman was, you know. Because, you know, you're with these guys for so long, like practically more time than you get to spend at home with your family.
Yeah.
These guys, these gals, they all become like your brother and sisters, you know, and you go through the same pain together, but then you also have those same highs together.
Is it okay to call it the suck? Because I know military people call it the suck.
Yeah. Definitely the suck.
Because I don't want to steal any military jargon, but it's, you know, these big productions can put you through some shit.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah. Since August, what have you been doing to stay busy? I mean, you're looking lean, you're looking good, man.
Trying, you know, I hit the gym every so often, not as much as I'd like, but right now, I'm day playing. I'm very blessed to be able to get some day play work around here, but other than that, I'm installing garage doors in the off time. Yeah,
that's right. We did talk about that. Yeah. I installed garage doors. Excuse me. I installed garage doors for a while.
That's right.
For emergency door services in Pittsburgh. So
it's a great skill to have.
You know, it's funny. Like when I'm winding my own springs because I got my own bars, and then finding those bars is hard. Like you have to be a licensed garage technician to get those bars, or buy those bars for an exorbitant amount of price.
Yeah. And then if you don't know what you're doing, that's the most dangerous part right there. Yeah. You know, those springs will kill you if you're not careful.
Man, I remember one day I'm putting this garage door in, and it was a 7'3", so it was kind of a tall door by 18 feet, and it was like kind of extra long. So, and this was a big, heavy clopay door, and it's like I forget the model number. It's like 4220 or something like that. It's like the 2-inch thick, nice injected foam,
that steel back
R18 or whatever, you know, like. And I'm sitting there, and I'm doing the spring, and the bar slips out of my hand, and dude, the bar just like flies off, and then the other bar gets stuck.
Yep.
And you hear ding, 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 like, because like the bar's just hitting off everything. And dude, there's cars in the garage and stuff like that. And I'm like looking around, like, what in the world just happened?
You're
like
all puckered up.
Yeah. And I'm like wondering, where is this other bar? Because I only got one set of bars.
Oh, God.
So, and I remember I was like, I got to call in and ask another garage tech to lend me their bars. I got to meet them somewhere.
Yeah.
And as soon as I picked up the phone, I'm like looking in my bag, and the bar is like sitting in my bag as if I placed it there after it got banged up. You know, after 15 minutes of checking to make sure I dinged a car or something like that.
Yeah, shattered a window.
Broke drywall. I don't know what happened or how it happened, but nothing got damaged. And, you know, like I was like, I don't think I can. I don't think I need to report this. This is good. Everything is fine. There's no nicks. There's no, and
let's keep that one to ourselves.
The owner of the house is like, what was that noise? Everything okay? I'm like, I dropped a bar. Like, oh, okay. And like, they don't know.
Everything's good.
Yeah. They don't know how dangerous that is. So shout out to all the garage door techs out there. Garaga, Clopay, Overhead. There's a ton of different brands out there.
And my brother-in-law's company, Maddock Garage Doors.
Maddock. Nice, man. Shout out to those guys.
Yeah, he brought me in when it's the off time of the movies, and he's teaching me a skill. And,
that's good, man.
He's got a great crew with him.
Nice.
Those boys are some top-notch dudes, you know.
Nice, man.
He's taught them well.
That's good, man. That's good. It's good to have a skill like that. I mean, number one, you're already skillful. You know how to use power tools. You know how to use, like, you're basically a man's man when it comes to like carpentry and fixing things like that. Like, I don't necessarily know if you're a master like cabinet builder by any means, but you've built some nice stuff. I mean, everyone on Superman, Birdman, they all built nice stuff, you know?
He is a master carpenter. You know, Jared, I would consider Jared a master carpenter too. He's phenomenal.
I wonder if, like people that hold these skills in the construction trade, You should be proud of those skills because not a lot of people have them. I've seen a lot of grown dudes that lived a full life not know how to use a skill saw or a drill or what have you. Those things, that these attributes of being a man really step in when you see a dude behind a tool.
Yeah, and you can tell when they know how to use it.
Yeah.
Too. You just know.
Yeah, I had someone ask me. I had some dolly grips in, and we really didn't talk about it on the show, but we talked about how like I was a teamster on Superman for you guys, and I wasn't really gripping. And they were like, "Did they know you were a grip?" And I'm like, "Not for the first like 3 weeks, I don't think." You know, it's funny to have the outside look. You know, although I was a grip at one point, and then I'm driving the truck at this new point. It's cool to see all you guys do your own thing and how you guys operate.
I remember learning when you had told us that you were a grip before in the past. I was just like, wow, like, all right, cool. I mean, you were able to grab stuff for us, and you knew, like, you know, you went above and beyond just your own your teamster position to assist us in any way that you could, because you knew the equipment and you knew the job too.
Yeah,
so it was awesome.
I think the only reason why I shouldn't say the only reason. One of the main reasons why I felt like I needed to say something at all was because Jason knew me.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, oh, it's better that him say it than me say it. Because if another grip says he's a grip, that's one thing. Yeah. So I waited until Jason Charles, I think, said to me, Jason tells me I can't do his accent, but like he's just, oh my gosh, no filter on this guy. And beautiful dude.
Awesome
beautiful
dude.
Man. Jason told me you were a grip. he goes, a lot of people think they were grips.
Yeah, right. Is that what he said?
Something like that.
That sounds like him.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Hey, he doesn't hold punches, man.
No. It was so real.
Yeah.
It's so real. And I'm like, yeah, you're right, bro. You're right. You're right. And that was just like a nice, fun thing to sit there and think about.
I worked with that guy for the first time on the first Black Panther. And on that show, I was actually in the canvas room sewing a lot. But a lot of times Kent would need an extra guy out there to, for whatever reason. And every time I'd go outside of that canvas room and get thrown on a crew, it was on Jason's crew. Yeah. And it was all, he taught me a lot too. And then every time I would go on to a Kent Baker show, Jason Charles would be there. Yeah. It's like automatic, not even being asked or told. I gravitate towards Jason. Yeah. Because I know his style, he knows my style, and we just worked well together.
It's amazing for a guy to, so Jason Charles cares a lot about what's going on and how things are done. But, dude, he doesn't give a rat's ass.
At the same time.
Yeah, at the same time. Yeah. It's a cool superhuman power to have. All you guys had everybody had a superhuman power on that crew, and it was cool to experience it. Outside of that, you're doing garage doors. What else? Are you doing anything else?
No, not really. Just trying to be a good dad at home. Yeah. Husband,
Yeah. That family life is it's a wild thing to be in the film industry at the family life. I mean, you're probably used to the military as like you're probably used to it already with the military.
Yeah, so. I didn't have the children while I was in the military, but I'm very used to the the chaotic hours, the time away. Yeah. I'm used to that, but it took some adjustment, once you have the family that you got to that you come home to. It makes those long hours and stuff a little different.
Yeah, it's tough on you.
It is.
It's really real tough on you. We were talking about it. Gosh, I don't know if it was on a podcast or outside of a podcast. I was talking with somebody. It's like you'll be gone for 3 weeks, and that 3 weeks, your kid grew. Oh, man. Your wife changed, yes. Or whatever it might be. You changed, like something changed, and you notice it when you come back after 3 weeks, and you sit there and think it was only 3 weeks, but at the same time, it was 3 weeks.
Yeah, that's a long 3 weeks. You're never getting those back.
Yeah, this is. I guess this has been a film talk heavy podcast in the past couple episodes, and that's not my intention, but because my life has been the film industry, and with this podcast I'm showcasing my friends, I mean, it's natural we talk about film and stuff like that, but I know you're into so many different things. Like one of the things that I connected with you with was the fact that you liked Bloodhound Gang and the music that I liked, and you liked the different shows that I liked. And I don't know, I was able to like level with you quickly.
Yeah.
It was like a easy transition. You don't get easy transitions in the film industry.
Not often.
Normally there's like the head bump, and then after the head bump, then you get into a place where you're like, oh, I dig it, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, oh man, I feel kind of like naturally befriending you is like, felt good. And just the fact that I had that, man, I was like, oh dude, I'm going to hang out with you. So we hung out a good bit, and we got a chance to know each other. And yeah, man, just like, I feel like I want that again. And I'm glad that the film industry is going to bounce back. I mean, people were worried about it.
Yeah.
And I know I'll be seeing you on another show, and I know you'll be hanging out.
Absolutely.
You know, after all that. But, you know, in the meantime, while this lull, you know, I don't know. I've been trying so hard to fill the lull with either doing other work and things like that, doing home projects and things like that, and being a dad and all that jazz.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of look at these moments, even though they're tough financially, it's a blessing.
Yeah.
To be able, you know, essentially you're forced to take time off, and you're forced to recalibrate yourself. And then that gives you the opportunity to be around your family more.
Yeah.
And you get to learn more about yourself, you know, because you're not just in that daily grind every day, you know, up at 4 a.m., you know, back home by 7 p.m.
Yeah.
You know,
That's on a good day, folks.
Yeah. It's on a good day, you know, but that's the way I try to look at it, as a blessing. It's a recalibration period.
Yeah. I feel like with like having a wife and kids and stuff like that, you know, having that support doesn't come easy and doesn't come naturally too. So like, you know, people that are in military, people that are in maybe the aerospace, you know, background and the film background, they have to acknowledge the kind of lifestyle that you chose, and they have to work hard at it. Yeah. You know, it's a lot different than having like a firefighter dad, you know, because they're there for a couple days and then gone for a couple days, or if they're, you know, gone for a couple days and they come home and then they have their second business, because a lot of firefighters do that.
Yes.
You know,
a lot of them do.
Yeah. And, you know, like people have issues with like, you know, just like maybe their vices get a hold of them, whether if they're gambling or whatever. And when film industry people are trying to have this like family, nuclear family, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. I'm not saying it's not a lot of work for other people, but we recognize it in a different lens than other people.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I agree with you. Absolutely.
It's hard to have that support. It's hard to like, I mean, we can't expect our wives to always support this decision to go to work, but at the same time, it's our bread and butter.
Yes.
So they have a realization to happen.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on all that?
I agree with you. You know, it takes a lot of compromising, but a lot of effort on both parts. You know, particularly my wife at home. You know, she's a nurse. She's an oncology nurse.
Oh, wow.
She works. Luckily, her hours are set. You know, but when we worked together, or like when we got together, she was a urgent care nurse.
Okay.
And those hours are nuts. You know, it's 9 a.m., 9 p.m.
Yeah.
You know, and then it's not always the same day off, or sometimes it's an extra day here, extra day there. And that became very difficult for us, you know, to where she made the, I would say it's a sacrifice, but at the same time, it was also a promotion where she found another gig in the nursing world where she was able to move to that job, and then she climbed up the ladder, and now her hours are more sustainable.
More conducive to your lifestyle.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, more conducive to it. You know, where she has it's essentially 9 to 5.
Yeah,
you know, and it works for us.
That's wild, because like I sit there and think to myself, like, you're in the film industry and your wife's a nurse in the medical field. Man, your kids must miss you all the time, both of you guys, man. Jeez. But like on the same token too, it's like, you know, along like with a firefighter or police officer, dude, your wife probably, like every time she sees somebody, they're not having a good time. That must play a lot, like a heavy role in her psyche.
I'm sure it does.
You know,
especially where she's at now, oncology.
Yeah.
She probably sees a lot of stuff, you know, or she you know, when she's dealing with these patients, treating these patients, you know, they're undergoing chemo.
Yeah.
And that's got to be scary, you know,
Yeah.
especially if you build a connection with a patient.
Do that.
You
Yeah.
know?
Like, wow, the rhino skin.
Right.
Yeah.
Got to. She got to have it.
Yeah. We
you
think
know?
we have tough skin.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Dude, I mean, being a husband and a father with a wife in the just medical field, you know, I think that, you know, just I want to say that's hard because like you're expected to feel certain ways and do certain things, you know, and then when you're working, she's expected to feel certain ways and do certain things. That's tough, man, to be able to like balance that on that seesaw. You know, that seesaw is, you know, rusty and doesn't want to bend all the time.
Yep.
I know it with my wife, dude. Sometimes, you know, it's like she'll say, we didn't talk about that. We didn't plan that. I'm like, I'm in the film industry. The only thing we plan is the dailies.
Yeah,
and that's it. Other than once you get it written, throw it away because we're changing it.
Yes. Yep.
You know, so that mentality always plays into our life. So whatever we plan, just like a film set, dude, we're scratching it, dude. We're doing something different. I'm glad we planned it so we can change it, you know? So like, you know, she tends to roll with my punches and she tends to, you know, kind of like aid me and help me, you know, but she's got a full-time job too. She's doing the homeschool. So she's the teacher aspect.
Oh yeah. She's got a very important job.
Yeah. So like the fact that, she can't leave. I mean, that's a real thing. Like when you can't leave your work and you can't turn it off.
Yeah.
That plays a different type of thing, you know?
I mean, your wife literally does not get time off. I mean, she's teaching. She has to, you know, I'm sure they have to maintain a schedule at the homeschool level, right? Like,
every day there's 4 hours of teaching. And then Fridays they meet up at the co-op.
Okay.
So,
is that where she meets with other parents?
Yeah, and other students, other parents, and things like that. And matter of fact, I had my buddy Jean-Paul on here, and we talked about the homeschool group numbers that we were like just talking about how well kids are reading, you know, and like my child, he's reading at a certain level. It's like beyond, like he's reading adult books and he's 10 years old.
That's awesome.
You know, my 5-year-old's reading books where, you know, kids are basically learning their, you know, their alphabets and how to sound words and sentences and stuff like that. And a lot of the kids at the homeschool group are kind of on that level. And we're like, holy crap, dude, we're doing something right.
Yes.
That's like pretty good. I'm glad we're able to do it. And then I have to sit there and think to myself, dude, my wife was the valedictorian of her high school. My wife was super smart until she met me. You know, like, oh man. So having a wife that's like in the medical field, I feel like you can probably relate to someone being smart.
Oh yeah.
You know,
yeah, she's definitely smart.
Yeah. My wife's not street smart like maybe I am because where I grew up in Pittsburgh, you know, and for the folks that don't know, I'm from Pittsburgh, and in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where I grew up in Sheridan, it was a blue collar town turned into not so blue collar.
Yeah.
And, you know, we had to navigate that as growing up. My parents still live there. And a couple years ago, when I say a couple, I've been with Angela for a while, but it was, I think like 12 years ago, we go over to my house and my mom lives kind of in the ghetto. So my mom's house is situated on the corner, and right in front of her house was the best place to sell drugs.
Oh, wow.
And every time someone would pull up to sell drugs, my mom would like, get out of here. I know what you're doing. I already called the police. And people would literally threaten my mom's life. I'll kill you, bitch. And all this other stuff. And my mom's like, yeah, right, whatever. Get out of here.
Your mom's tough, man.
And,
or crazy.
Both. She's both. She really is both. And, you know, my wife, the first time she's dealt with that, you know what I mean? She lived out in the sticks, dude. Like, and she was like, what's going on? I was like, oh, that guy's selling drugs. She's like, what? Really? And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, your mom's yelling at him. I'm like, yeah. You know, and then the next car comes by and it's like, so my mom doesn't have to do it. I go, hey man, go. My mom will call the cops on you and stuff. And it's just like, her eyes were open. Like, you grew up in a bad place.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's not bad. Trust me, it's not bad. It's actually really nice.
You just got to learn to navigate it.
Yeah,
That's
he's
all.
just selling drugs. He's trying to make money. He's probably got 3 kids. Who knows?
Yeah.
He's doing what he's doing. It's not right.
They ain't gonna bother you. You don't bother them, kind of thing. You know?
But
yeah,
it is. It's funny to see how she adapt to everything. You know.
yeah,
Funny. It's wild. I'm sure, you know, like with you and your wife, the way you guys adapt and the way you guys, you know, there's no real planning, because like all the punches that everybody has to do. I can't imagine having a 9-to-5 job. Like both of your wife or the husband and the wife, they both have a 9-to-5 job, and your kids are at school and can take care of themselves. I'm not there yet to know what that's like, but man, I wonder what that might be like.
yeah.
You know, like, am I going to be able to do X, Y, Z and like feel this way or hang out this way? I'm fortunate that, you know, we have what we have, you know, being that I'm the sole provider as far as the money wise goes. But man, I feel like we work so hard in making it somewhat this like what we have.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say, not everybody gets to have that. So I'm glad I have it. You know what I mean? I just, man, the film industry life and all my friends, they all have different backgrounds in the family and things like that. It's tough, you know, the experiences.
It really is. You're right. You're right.
And now when we're not working, we both try to do things. You're doing garage door things.
I do garage doors. Yeah.
When you're not doing anything and you're literally trying to do something for yourself, what is it that you do?
So like my hobbies.
Yeah.
Well, I enjoy working out. I enjoy shooting. I also enjoy martial arts, jujitsu. I did jujitsu for, I want to say, it was about 8 years total.
Yeah.
I earned my purple belt in jiu-jitsu when I lived in Marietta, Kennesaw area. I trained with a jiu-jitsu place that was an Alliance affiliate, and enjoyed that a lot. Now, because like we talk about with our film schedule, I don't get the time to train like I used to, where I was training twice a day, competing.
Yeah.
So I try to get to the Jiu-Jitsu Academy. You know, I may go maybe 5 times a year.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's
just better than nothing.
It is.
I mean, especially because I know you're passionate about it.
I love it. I love it. And if I had way more time to do it, I would. So I just, you know, my outlet right now is working out, you know, and I like to go shoot guns. And
have you been shooting lately?
I have not gone shooting for
we should go shooting.
A month. Yeah.
We should go shooting. I haven't been shooting. We were supposed to go shooting in Cleveland, and then nobody really decided to go. I remember I went and bought all this ammo.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I bought a bunch of ammo.
I didn't.
And it's okay. I still have it.
Totally went. Like,
I still have it.
I remember we did chat about it, but I didn't know if it was a serious thing or.
No, it was serious. But what happened was we had a real hard weekend.
We did get slammed a lot.
Yeah. So what happened was a lot of folks who were interested in doing it realized like reality hit, and it just wasn't going to happen. Yeah. And then the fact too that we only had 2 cars.
That part was
so it was like who had the car, and they needed it for laundry. Yes. I can't take that away from somebody. You know, we just wanted to go shoot, but we should go shooting. And man, I'm so rusty. I think like it's been like almost 1.5 years, 2 years since I went shooting.
I got you. Yeah.
So I'm real rusty.
Well, we can knock that rust off, man.
Heck yeah, dude. I feel like I have a 6-hour P365.
Okay.
Nice little handgun.
Very nice. Very nice.
I mean, I guess I shouldn't talk about what I have, but that's my everyday carry.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good everyday carry.
And then I shoot it real good. My grouping, the last time I shot was decent. You know,
okay.
I'm no marksman by any means, but yeah, we should definitely go, man. Check it out. Do you have a favorite place to go to?
I want to say it's called On Target in Peachtree City.
Okay. I didn't realize they have any.
Yeah.
There.
It's right by the police station in Peachtree City. Yeah. It's a really good range.
Dude, that's cool. So we should do that.
Okay.
Yeah, we should do that. Cause I literally bought, I think like 500 rounds because like, dude, we had like 4 people that said that they wanted to go. And I was thinking, well, 4 people, 100 rounds a piece, and then
what caliber is it?
a 9mm.
Okay, 9mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually I gotta buy me a good 9mm. I was looking at the FN 509.
Yeah. That's pricey though.
It is pricey. I know.
That's pricey.
That's a good gun though.
Yeah, all good guns are pricey. You know, you're paying for that craftsmanship.
But at the same time, all guns shoot too. So it's like, do you want to spend, a lot of money on a gun that, shoots just as good as, the other?
Yeah, where's your high point?
yeah. Well, I don't know if I'll do that.
Do you like holding bricks? Well, then you'll love a high point.
Yes, right.
Yeah, I'm sure high point users out there. I'm sure that the gun shoots straight.
Absolutely. I know military guys that have high points, and they are just as accurate with that.
A lot of people call the high point the car gun.
The car gun.
Yeah, because if their car gets broken into and they take a high point, they look at it like, oh, it looks like they needed it more than I did.
Yeah, I mean, really. And people when gun guys will get into debates over like, oh, well, I got this one, that one, The reality is, if you're training, whatever gun you're training with, if you train enough with it, a guy that's training with the high point it doesn't matter what type of gun he's shooting with. He trains enough, he will put the rounds on target, and it's game over.
There's a YouTube channel. I'm trying to remember right now the name of the YouTube channel. It's two fellas.
You talking about where he put the high point in like the dirt and all that? And
no, that one's Demolition Ranch, I think.
Yeah, it is Demolition Ranch. Yeah.
The channel I'm talking about, there's two dudes, and one is like a real avid shooter, shoots every day. The other person's also a person that's like shoots well, but just they always say like this guy is better. He trains more.
Yeah.
And they take crappy guns and really, really good guns, and they both shoot them. Yeah. And they like scientifically and mathematically like kind of like show you information and data on people and how the guns are actually performing. Just to show people, like, when you're buying a Desert Eagle, you're not just buying a sexy beast of a gun. Yeah. This gun is going to perform the way you're expecting it to. And they'll take a cheap gun too. And they did that with the high point. So they had like a really high expensive, like $4,000 pistol versus the $200 high point.
Yeah.
And, of course, the guy who shot better with the high point than the guy who didn't have the experience with the Desert or whatever.
The Gucci gun.
Yeah, the Gucci gun. Yeah. Shout out to everybody who got a gold gun.
That's right.
Bling, bling, chang, chang.
There it is.
Man. But yeah, I think shooting, I had a lot of friends that were interested in shooting. And one of them, Andrew, dude, we need to go. We need to go shooting again, Andrew. Andrew was the kind of the dude to help me pick out what I wanted to do with one of my weapons. And we built it out for hog hunting. Never had a chance to go hog hunting, but that's
fun.
Yeah, he had a friend that was like, dude, there's like 40, 50 hogs just tearing up my farm. Let's get together and kind of like fix this situation, because if people don't know, hogs are like very destructive.
Yes, very, very intrusive to the crops.
And if you got other animals, or if you got food growing, forget about it. They destroy stuff. So it's a big problem. Anyway, so I was like, all right, I'll go do this, and this is, one of the first times that I've ever been hunting. It would have been one of the first. I have never been hunting.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. This would have been the first time. We never got a chance to do it, but I decked myself out with a good hog gun that would also translate to the real world for me too.
There you go.
And we came out the other end, and I have something I love. I can shoot it decent enough. You know what I'm saying? But once again, like, if you put a shooter on it, then you'll see how bad I really am. But man,
but you built it up. It's a nice, sexy gun now.
It is a budget friendly
rifle.
Yeah, budget friendly rifle.
Very nice.
Well, it's actually a handgun.
Oh wow.
Yeah, okay. Budget friendly handgun. So long arm.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm not sure the correct term about it, but yeah, it's a handgun.
Yeah.
But anyway, like the fact of shooting, dude, I'm getting more and more interested in marksmanship stuff, because my nephew, he's in the Army, and he just received his excellency in marksmanship.
His badge.
Yeah.
His expert
Yeah.
rifle badge.
Yeah. For a person that, I should ask him what that's all about, but do you know anything about that?
The badge?
Yeah. Or like the what he may have went through.
Well, I
know you're Marines and he's Army.
Well, in the Marine Corps, we do what they call it's a rifle qualification, the rifle qual. And we do that. I want to say it was every year we did it. And every year I got expert badge as well. But it's essentially in the Marine Corps anyways, we're shooting, I want to say it was like the max range that we would shoot at distance wise was like 500 meters. And then it went all the way up to, I want to say 100 meters. It's been so long.
Yeah.
But that was like the distance on it. And,
you remember what kind of rifle you were shooting with that?
Just the M16.
Okay.
And iron sights.
Iron sights.
Yes,
wow.
Use iron sights. But yeah, I mean, in the Marines, the way they would teach us was with the iron sights, we'd BZO our weapon, basically zero it out. And shooting iron sights is the core curriculum of marksmanship, instead of having all those nice scopes. You know, I mean, yes, you have to know how to utilize a scope, zero out a scope, but that weapon stripped all the way down just to a simple weapon with iron sights. If you're good at that,
yeah,
you're good.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man.
That's real cool. And shout out to Callan out there, dude, doing your work for the Army.
Yeah.
And all your homeboys out there, dude. Whoever is friends with Cal out there, dude. Man, my props to you, man. Cal's having a good time with you guys.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I feel like the military is just like something that is like so fresh with me right now with my nephew going to the Army. We got to watch him jump out of airplanes and get his
Very cool.
airborne badge and stuff like that. And he continues to jump. Like, I guess whatever he's doing for the military, he has to stay jumping.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't get to do that type of cool stuff. Yeah, no, I was infantry, but I did not get my jump wings.
Yeah, I think when we were there, now don't quote me. For folks that know more about this than I do, I'm sorry, I just don't know everything. But I could have swore that there were people jumping out of the airplane that were ex-military, and they were getting these like allowances to jump too. I could be wrong. Huh. So you should look into it. Maybe they'll let you jump just because you're prior, you know?
Yeah, I mean, that would be a cool program.
Yeah. I know that there was a lot of foreigners there too, jumping like from other militaries.
Yeah, when I was in the Marines, we did some work with the Korean Rock Marines.
Yeah.
Tough guys.
Yeah.
Really tough guys.
Man, shout out to all my military friends out there. You know, I feel like, man, they get to experience something. You get to experience what they experience, I'm sure. And I'll never experience what you experienced. And I think that there's a lot to learn from you, and I can't wait to learn whatever I learn. You know, I talked to my buddy Matt, my buddy Rob, man, and sharing their stories. I had a buddy Billy when he was, gosh, man, he was I don't even know what he made it to, but I think he's retired now. I have a couple of retired friends. I just thank you guys for your service. I appreciate it. This country needs you real bad.
I appreciate it, Bob.
Yeah.
Honestly, I wish I would have stayed in. I mean, I'm 38 now. I would have been able to retire this year.
Yeah.
And I'm still young enough to do something else,
Well, we don't always make the decisions we would have.
No. But I mean, everything happens for a reason. Everything got me to this spot right here, right now.
Yeah.
I got 2 beautiful boys, wife, everything's good. Got a house.
Yeah.
And I'm doing what I like to think is a great job in the film industry.
Yeah. And you're like an important gear in that process. Everyone, not to go back to the film industry, but every little part in the film industry, there's a thing that irritates me a little bit when I hear production or keys talk about how somebody's replaceable or not. In a sense, everybody is replaceable, but in another sense, they're not. Because if you get somebody that ends up being a cog in the system, they could be detrimental or they could be helpful. you know, but at the same time, it's like most of the people that are doing this job are good. They're very rarely do you come across somebody that, you know, they might not be a do not hire or something like that, but that's more or less for personal reasons because you do methods differently than they do methods.
Mm-hmm.
It's not because they're a bad person or they don't know what they're doing, you know, so like people aren't as replaceable as people like to say they are,
Yeah.
you know, because I don't know.
I agree.
Yeah. It's all about, you know, how well the feng shui is within the project,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and then the crew. I'd like to think that more people, you know, realize that. And the film industry is such a volatile thing
Very,
too.
very volatile.
You
It's
know,
like
right,
the stock market.
Yeah.
And down,
up and down,
you know?
you know, and the whole thing with Trump saying that he's going to put 100% tariff on the movies that are coming. I don't know how that's going to help or hurt. I wish there was some insight. I wish there was a honest voice out there that really knows how to do the analytics.
Yeah, it's hard to find that in politics.
Yeah, it is.
You know?
And whatever aisle you stand on, I got to tell you, I mean, you have to admit one way or the other, we're being affected by all these decisions, whether if it's the left or the right.
Yes, absolutely, 100%.
You know,
Yeah, it's just I don't know how that would affect the industry as a whole. Theoretically, what they're saying it would bring us more jobs. If that's the case, that's great. But there's always a cause and effect. There's always going to be some effect that we're not aware of right now.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And I don't know who to trust about it either when it comes to, finding that right source of information.
Yeah, and that's another negative thing too. There's a thing called, if you don't know about the film industry, there's a thing called movie math.
Yeah.
And movie math is this like mythical, I don't know, I almost said algorithm. It's a mythical mathematic thing where they can show that they spent all this money, and at the same time they could show that they did not make money.
Yeah.
And there's these ways of, I don't know, keeping all the money that you can possibly keep, and sending money other places before you get audited and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know how the movie math will work with this, but I don't see Hollywood saying, don't do this.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering what's the consensus among the elites, the Hollywood elites, the people who actually make these movies. Because if you're getting a movie that's out of California, there's a good chance China's funding it already and it's just filming here. India's,
that's a good point.
all the financiers that are backing all these projects. I just wondered, do you know anything what's going on with that? Because I haven't been able to tap into it. I know it's kind of new.
It is very new. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't. I don't want to say I have an opinion on it, and an uneducated one.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to put my ear closer to the ground, because I'm interested in this because it's our livelihood.
It is, yes. Yeah.
I haven't worked in the film industry since August 9th of 2024. So that hurts my retirement. It hurts my income, it hurts my union status, because like you have to work so many hours to move up in lists and things like that. So it's affecting everybody here in Atlanta, Georgia, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, California, LA.
It is.
New York. And I'm wondering if there is a fix or if this is just
a cycle.
A new type of cycle that the film industry has always had.
It could be, especially now with all the streaming, and then that AI stuff. The whole reason for the strike, right? Was the AI. That throws a whole nother wrench into the mix.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I just pray.
Yeah, right. Right. That's all you can do sometimes.
Really, it's pray, and then have a backup plan and build your skills while it's a downtime.
Yeah.
So that you have something, but stay ready.
Yeah.
It could pop up anytime, and then you want to get that job.
Yeah.
So
if we didn't get copyright strikes, I'd play that Big Boy song where it talks about having a backup plan for the backup plan.
Yeah. Right.
Man, I tell you, I mean, just living this roller coaster ride. I always like to ask my buddies that are in the film industry, what's your perspective on it? Because number one, if your perspective is different than mine, I feel like I learned something, and if I could share any perspective and maybe help see something, like, gosh, like when I was talking to Jason about the film industry, Jason's convinced that, and this is, we're talking about Lonzo.
Lonzo.
Yeah, we're talking about Jason. Lonzo. Weimar. Anyway, Jason thinks like the film industry took a huge hit right now for the United States, and he has to figure something else out. Mm-hmm. So he's taking the approach of looking for other different jobs outside of the industry.
Yeah.
And I actually started looking at that as well.
Yeah.
And it's not because I don't think I'll end up getting a job. I know I'll end up getting a job. And if I look hard enough and make myself open enough, I'm sure I can get a job somewhere else in the United States.
Oh, yeah.
However, we just don't know what's going to happen. And I think that with COVID, we had the rug pulled out from under us because we had basically somebody telling our industry what we're allowed to do and what we're not allowed to do. And then when the strike happened with the writers and the actors and the potential director strike, the potential Teamster, threat and everything,
all of that at once.
It was real heavy. And the production houses and all the studios, they were vocal about their stance, and they kind of said, what they said. And I think their outlook was that the industry or the unions were kind of screwing the production houses somehow because, like we wanted raises and we wanted certain things to have a life,
You're right. Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, I don't share that. I hear their perspective. I understand why they're saying it. But at the same time, like if you look at what they're making, it's like, I don't know how they could say that. So I just don't know, man. Like, and for production houses or companies, studios out there, there's going to be 2 types of movies that you guys make, or actually 3 types, or no, 2 types.
Yeah.
They're going to, or maybe 4 types. I don't know. Like they're going to be foreign movies. There's going to be domestic movies. There's going to be foreign movies with AI.
Yeah.
And then there's going to be domestic movies with AI. And then there's going to be just AI movies.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's already a thing, too.
Yeah.
AI movies. People are messing around with that.
That's crazy, dude.
You can see them all over YouTube.
Yeah. The craziest thing that I saw so far was the avatars that people were doing. Mm-hmm. So I forget what AI app it is, but you're able to take an avatar of yourself, and within like 6 seconds or 7 seconds of speaking into a mic and videotaping yourself, it already knows how to act and sound like you.
Wow.
So YouTubers are doing this. For instance, like tech YouTubers, they'll have like a like B-roll of like stock footage that like Apple gave them, and they'll talk about the Apple computer. Like the Apple computer has a great memory. The new M4 chip is awesome, and so all they have to do is spend 15 minutes typing in the prompts. Oh, excuse me, and then putting the photo and the dragging and dropping the videos. AI is then creating your likeness with your voice, and whether if you want to be down on it or happy about it, you type in the inflection that you want it to, and they're doing it.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
To see that happening, because it's, being that I'm new to this podcasting stuff, we're putting podcasts on Spotify, and we're putting podcasts on YouTube and Apple, iTunes, like all the platforms. Like you should be able to see this eventually. And we're reading some of the things, and it seems that if you are an AI, you have to notify that the video is AI and it's not you, and it's not you speaking. But at the same time, the videos that I'm seeing, I'm not seeing that in the description.
Yeah.
So I wonder what's going on,
Interesting.
So I'm wondering, like,
maybe it's like a good faith system where they just, they're asking you to report that this is a AI video. And some people are just like, I'm not going to do that.
Dude,
what are you going to do about it?
If you're 65 years old and you're not into tech and you just own an iPhone and you like just live your life and you have a video that comes across, there's no way you're going to.
No way.
Because you're looking at it and you're not inspecting it.
No.
If you're like us, we'll look at it. like something seems off,
The hands,
and not care.
The hands never lie.
Yeah, and the glitch of the shoulder or whatever.
Yeah.
Like we see that there's something off, but we don't care enough to like dive into it. And the fact that that's happening, and the fact that too, there's a huge push for user rights. Like right now with cameras and computers and all these digital things that are basically entering our life. We no longer really own anything. It's all license agreements. And like I have these OBSBot cameras, and they're great. They're working. They're doing what I need them to do. However, if OBSBot decides to change the parameters or the rules or their stance on how these cameras can be used, they can change that. And I have to agree to their terms in order for these cameras to actually power up and turn on and work. So it's like, are these cameras that I own? No, man, not like in the 60s and 70s and 80s.
I didn't know that.
Where you have a camera and you can use it whichever way you want, you know?
That's wild.
Yeah, same thing with this computer. Like if I decide that I don't want to work under the parameters of Apple, they can say,
well, you can't use our computer then.
Can't use the computer, can't use the software. Looks like you got a $3,000 paperweight.
Yeah.
You know?
Wow.
So for folks out there, look up Louis Rossman. He's an avid supporter of, ownership rights. And right now it's being taken away. I mean, everything. This Rodecaster Pro 2 that I'm using, I have to agree to the terms for it to work, but this is a lot less than that.
Yeah.
Yeah. This YOLO Box Extreme,
Yeah.
I have to agree to their terms, because if I don't agree to their terms, the software won't work.
Wow.
Yeah. So then all of a sudden none of this is happening,
That's wild.
Yeah. So we need to get back to where when we buy something,
It's ours.
and we own it. If you go to Amazon and you like buy a digital book, if you look into the actual ownership rights of the digital book.
Oh yeah. They can pull it anytime they want.
Yeah. It's a lease. And then they have times like you can buy a book for 4 days for like $10.
Yeah.
5 years, $50.
Yeah.
10 years, $100. And then if you look at the user agreement, that you see it's a license, and they are subjective, that they could change at any time.
Yep. You could open up your little library on your Kindle and it's gone.
Yep. And I had that happen with me with Apple a long time ago, right before, I shouldn't say right before this. I had an iPhone and an actual Apple iPod. So
I had one.
A classic or whatever they call it now. But so I had a classic, and it was, it was my favorite thing, because I left it in my car, and anytime I wanted music on it, I'd add some music, but I left it in my car, and that was my music. One day, unbeknownst to me, I connect my iPod into the computer to download music.
Yeah.
And my computer kind of like did something that I wasn't used to. So I didn't know what was happening.
Yeah.
And then everything on my iPod, except for maybe like 100 songs, got deleted.
Yeah.
And I'm talking, I probably had 3,000, 4,000 songs.
Yeah. Cause them things held some music, some gigabytes.
So, I'm like, what happened? Then I tried contacting Apple, and I received an email back, and they said basically that the music that was on my iPod was possibly stolen music because of the way I downloaded it.
Was back from the LimeWire days, the Napster days.
Well, not even that. Like,
where you were doing the MP3 downloading.
Yeah. So oddly enough, like someone tried explaining it to me, like if that was somebody's album that you borrowed, right? And they put it on their iPod.
Yep. And you put it. Yeah.
And then I borrowed the album and put it on my iPod. Yep. It had the same, like some kind of serial number, some kind of thumbprint.
Interesting.
So a lot of shared music.
Yeah. I mean, because one person could buy the CD, the album. And then, that's what we would do in the barracks, because I had that same iPod for when I would go to Iraq. And that thing I had the iPod, it was the one that you could watch videos on too.
Yeah.
It was about that big. And, but yeah, like we would, if it would be on one guy's computer, I remember taking my iPod to a couple of my buddies' rooms and just pulling everything off their computer. Movies, everything, so that I had something.
Yeah.
Didn't even know what I was getting. you know, and
Yeah.
I could lay down in my sleeping bag at night and I could watch a movie,
Yeah.
you know. Yeah, so I can see that, you know, one person purchases and then everybody's using.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see it too as like, you know, a person that has friends that own music. I mean, I'm in a predicament right now where my buddy Mike, Victims of Contagion, they're the opening song.
Yeah.
You know, Species of Departed. That's the opening song to my podcast, or I was going to try to use it.
Yeah.
But due to the fact that the record label put a copyright mark on my podcast, I will not be able to use that. Wow. So I'm going to have to re-edit all the videos that I have on the YouTubes.
Yeah.
And it sucks because like that's the song. I asked the band, I said, "Hey, do you mind if I use the song?" They said, "We would love for you to use that song. That would be awesome." And then the record label probably didn't know about it.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to try to figure that out. Man, I hope I could use it, but if I don't, I'll have to somehow pay for music or something.
There's got to be a way that you can pay for like
the licensing,
song, or even just a small clip of it.
Yeah,
you know?
I just don't want their I just don't want their record label to be like, "You owe us $5,000 then."
Oh
if we want to do that.
for sure, yeah.
It's like, dude, I'll give you $100 or something. I don't know.
I don't even want the full song. Just,
just the 30 seconds of it. But you know, no matter what, I mean, Mike he's the drummer of that band, and the band is cool, man.
Yeah.
Mike said that they're going to come on sometime, so they're going to come down here, and they're going to. Hopefully, I could set up a show or something for them. But they're going to come down. They're going to come on. I'm sure we'll talk about me not allowed to use their song, you know.
Yeah.
But we're gonna have to figure something out, like the music. I have 3 podcasts to edit, so I will make my decision soon.
Yeah.
You know, it's gonna be a tough one. I don't know. But that's why me and we need to start this band. And we can make an opening song. Yeah. You know?
The Bob Dodd Show.
Yeah. I can't do the growl. Yeah. And I love, so folks that don't know, I love all sorts of types of music. And I have lots of friends that are in lots of different bands. And I really wanted to showcase Victims of Contagion because they're so good. Mm-hmm. And my son is, so we're Christians and everything, and we believe in Jesus and God. And I listen to some of the worst music that a Christian can listen to.
I'm guilty too.
Yeah. So I'm going to make this open because I am who I am, but we listen to it, and my son loves heavy metal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now my youngest, he loves heavy metal, and he requests Mike's band all the time. So I was like, I wonder if there's something in that, Mike's band could have for my podcast. So, cause it's part of my circle. Yeah. I'm listening to it every other day, and
very cool.
So we're going to see if this can work out or not. I don't know if it's gonna, but we'll see.
Yeah. Well, I hope so. I hope it works out.
Yeah. If not, me and you're going to have to hit the instruments and you're going to have to write something for me.
Yeah, man.
So, but yeah, dude, I don't know, so much is happening. So much is going on, dude. I was happy to catch up with you and, have you come here and all that stuff, so much is going on my end of the world too, with, my boy doing jiu-jitsu, my other boy doing baseball, you're doing the baseball thing.
Yeah. My oldest is, playing baseball. He's got his last game today, his final game today. And he's doing so well.
Nice.
It is. It really is. It's his first year.
Is he playing in the Noonan League or?
He's in the Sonoya, the 6U League.
The 6U, okay.
It was his first year. And I remember from day one up until now, he has progressed so much. He loves being there. He's excited to be there. He hustles. He's yes sir, no sir to the coaches. He's intent on watching and learning.
Oh, nice.
And again, like I was saying earlier in the show, that using this downtime as a blessing is, my mindset. And because I've had this much time off from the movies, I've been able to, when I come home from doing the garage work, I can throw a ball with them and I can practice with them. And I think that me being able to do that has helped him improve his skill level, because you get better at home.
Yeah.
You know, the reality, you know, you only have so many baseball practices, and then you have a game, and then, you know, so the constant practice at home where I'm throwing the ball with them.
And the 6U, the games are basically practice anyway.
Yeah. I mean, and there's some really good 6U teams out there that I'm like, wow, like, damn, you know. But at that age, they're learning the game, and it's about them having fun. You know, the competition, I think, can come a little bit later.
Yeah.
You know,
for parents out there taking it too serious, too.
Yeah. I mean, and I notice, like, as a dad, and I see the other dads, the other moms, you know, we get more competitive watching our boys play than our boys do. And you know, myself, when I try not to push that competitiveness on Asher, because I want him to enjoy the game. I don't want to push him away from it. I don't want to be like, you got to get out there. Dude, you got to get out there,
it's
win,
like,
you know? And
oh my gosh. Like my wife, we're watching, you know, my kid is playing a game. It's the first inning is always the best. The second inning is like the telltale of whether if he's like done or not.
It's like Bad News Bears, right?
Yeah. And he is like, he's playing second base.
That's what Asher plays too.
So I think that white line, whatever that powder stuff is, if it's like cornstarch, whatever it is, I don't know. He looks down and he's like, oh, I can pick this up.
Yeah.
So he's there picking up, like during the game, picking up the white. We're like, baseball ready. And he's just like bent over, picking up the dirt. Like, I like this stuff, you know, trying to make line balls or whatever, like balls out of it. And my wife and I was like, he's picking up the dirt. He's not even paying attention. And like, we have to remind ourselves, he's 5.
Yeah.
He's 5.
Yep.
And he's already been playing this game for 15 minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's like the attention span of like, if he's interested or not.
Yeah. If there's not a lot going on, he's like, oh, well.
And if he didn't eat before he went,
you
know, then it's like he's tired again, you know?
Yeah.
But it's wild, man. The baseball thing is real wild. What's your favorite aspect of baseball so far?
Oh man.
With him? Yeah.
I like just seeing his growth in it. You know, that's my favorite part of it. Every game he does, he gets better.
Yeah.
And I notice how much better he's getting. It's such an obvious, you know, improvement.
Yeah.
And I watching his energy when he runs out there. It's all about him for me.
Yeah.
You know, and then watching the other kids' growth in it is the best for me. I love going to the games, and I love being that dad that's so loud and vocal, like, yeah, great hit, you got it, go, you know, just being like overly loud and you know, and cheering them on, you know, and even if they make a mistake, you know, I'm like, all right, no, good job, you know. I find something positive in that moment. The kid missed the ball, but guess what? He got the ball in fast.
Yeah, like, good, man. I'm glad you did that because what'd you learn?
Yeah, you know, and I love that. I know when I was Asher's age, that's what I would have enjoyed too. You know? And my dad was good about that. But I just try to look at it that way, you know. As a dad, I kind of see the opportunity to be a kid again through my children. Yeah. You know, it's almost like a do-over in a sense.
I try that, but I'm so different.
Yeah.
And so the same.
Yeah.
You know, it's like hit or miss. Like, I shouldn't say it's hit or miss. Like with my oldest, he loves mountain biking. I think mountain biking's really, really cool.
Yeah.
I am not good at it. He is very good at it.
Yeah.
You know, I think I might try jujitsu with him.
There you go.
Yeah, I might try that.
It's never too late.
Yeah, I might pick that up, especially if we have like some money come in or whatever. Yeah. I might try it out. But with my youngest, with the baseball, I suck at it so bad. I am so terrible.
I was good
baseball.
at baseball. I was pretty good.
I'm so bad. I bought a little pitching machine, so like I could actually throw the ball to him.
Yeah.
And for all you dads out there that are judging, go ahead and judge. I don't mind. Just comment and subscribe and tell me how much how foolish I am and how stupid I am.
As long as you subscribe
and comment and all that. I think the algorithm.
And you can share it too.
Yeah, share it. Yeah. See this butthead? He doesn't even know how to play baseball with his kid. Share that, give it to your buddy, and tell him to share it too.
Yeah,
you know?
right. Y'all can make fun of all of us.
Yeah, but like it's funny. Like, so we bought this little baseball pitch machine, you know, just so we can get some balls across the plate so he can get used to seeing the balls because with me throwing the ball and with Angela throwing the ball, I mean, those balls are going everywhere. You know, I was never athletic growing up. So, you know, I'm just not athletic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was kind of fun getting some continuity with that pitching machine and stuff
what was awesome is that you noticed where your strengths and where your weaknesses were, and you adapted to it to help make your son better.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Well, thank you. I didn't look at it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. So if you ever need a pitching machine, let me know. We have it.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, gosh, man, right now it's just taking up a bunch of room in my garage near my motorcycles. Yeah. But, yeah, if you ever need to borrow it or whatever, let me know. Cause it's good for constant, like you have like 10, 20 baseballs and you're just like, boom, boom, boom.
Is it the one with the 2 wheels?
No. That costs lots of money. we bought a used, like, it's like spring loaded. So nice. you pull a lever back, you put the ball on it, and then you pull the lever and then it shoots the ball.
Oh, nice.
And there's different strengths.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. So it's been fun. And plus too, if you ever have time, the Noonan baseball field or whatever, Sonoya baseball field, we can get our boys together and basically throw some balls to them, let them hit, practice or whatever. Because Angela is probably the most athletic adult in this house. And that's where I think Dylan gets his athletics from.
Yeah.
Ethan's an athlete too. I mean, like that dude doing the bike riding. Your kid ride bike at all?
He does. He loves riding bikes.
Okay. That's another thing.
I got to buy a bike myself so I can ride with him.
Oh, I got something to show you.
Okay.
I got something to show you after the podcast. But yeah, like, dude, the bike riding thing is like serious.
Yeah.
I really, really, really like, you know, the fact that he's into it.
Yeah.
And seeing him go off of jumps.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Like the first time it was scary because like you don't know what he knows.
Yeah.
But he's been on this mountain bike club for a little while now. And he's
I think you were mentioning something like that to me.
Yeah.
Don't they have like a group in Peachtree City? Yes, I remember now. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so they do that, and like, man, they get some good, like there's some, like all the coaches that are there.
Yeah.
They're good coaches, and they're really able to, the monster's making me burp a lot. Sorry, folks at home that are listening. They're able to hone in on students who need what they need.
Yeah.
And the only thing that I would like recommend to them is that, you know, basically make it, easier for the coaches because there's so many kids. Like, I don't know how, because I know it's you have to sign up with the county to do the thing.
Yeah.
Like if the county could just like make it better for the coaches.
Yeah. Maybe put more coaches out there, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it's all voluntary, you know? So it's like, it's kind of wild, but the coaches, they deserve some help. I don't know how to help them. You know, if I had the funds to donate a little bit more or something like that to do it. I mean, they're good coaches and to help them out. I see that they need some help. And I guess that means I should try to help it with our schedule.
Yeah, no, exactly. Asher was asking me, he's asked me numerous times, Dad, I want you to be a coach on the baseball team next year. Well, you know, I tell him, say, Asher, you know, I'll help you as much as I can at the house. But I feel like and I told him at 6 years old, I don't know if he really understands yet, but I just said, Asher, if I was to do that, I would not be able to provide you the time that you would need or the other kids.
Yeah.
So I was like, I will help you as much as I can, but you know, he's, okay. You know, I mean, his coaches, they're every game, every practice, and they're phenomenal. Their patience is great.
Right.
You know,
shout out to all them little league baseball coaches.
You, man.
Yeah. Coach Robert and all the other coaches. I'm sorry, I don't have your name on the top of my head. Thank you. You guys are helping these little kids out and you're doing the best that you can. And, I think when I think about it, you guys are doing a great job because it's 1,000 times better than I can do.
No, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Asher's coaches, Coach Sean and Coach Jeff, Coach Alex, all of them, they have the patience to just, you know, they're dealing with these kids that have like, you know, no attention span.
Yeah.
And they're able to hone them in, bring them back, you know, into focus, and teach them things. And it's like, I watch them do it. I'm like, dang, man.
Dude.
Like, how are you not losing your mind? I'm sure they go home and they're like, they just take that breath, that hot shower, that shower beer. And and they're just like, I got to have a breather.
Oh, man. Michael was putting rocks in his mouth again today. I had to tell him to spit it out. Can't believe these kids. They'll eat dirt, literally.
Yeah, really.
Man, that's funny enough, dude. That is funny enough.
Oh.
Well, yeah, man. Like we've been recording for about an hour and 14 minutes. I'm so new at the podcasting. I don't know like a comfortable cut time. I don't know, like, I have no time limits for this. And, you know, I'm learning real hard to navigate conversations and try to think about certain things. And, you know, I feel like there's so much to learn about you, you know, whether if we do it on air or off air or whatever it might be, you know, like, man, I just, I don't want this to stop right this second.
Yeah, no, man.
But
it's good.
I'm like thinking about certain things that I want to talk about, but I don't know if it's like good podcasting stuff because it's just, you know, dad talk and bro talk. So
that's always good though, bro talk.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if you're driving in your car out there, you know, like, you know, bro talk. One of the things is like, you're talking about the bike. I have a bike down there. I haven't used it. I don't know what I'm going to do with it.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'll talk to my wife and see what's going on. We had talked about me getting rid of it. We talked about me keeping it.
Yeah.
I'm too fat for it, really. And yeah, we'll see if we can let that thing go. And
let me know, man.
Yeah, we'll kind of do that.
Some cash for it, something, you know.
Yeah, I mean, we'll figure it out. But like, if she thinks I should keep it, I'll probably keep it. But at the same time, you know, like I haven't got on the bike in probably 6 months, 5 months, and I'm a motorcycle guy.
Yeah.
How can I turn you into a motorcycle guy?
Oh man, I don't know. I mean, I love motorcycles. I haven't ridden one in a very, very, very long time. I think it was like a dirt bike I rode when I was like 16, maybe.
Yeah, we can change that. I have a dual sport that you can jump on and knock the rust off.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm down, man.
Nice. Well, we'll have to do that.
I would love to get a bike myself. I was always looking at the Indian motorcycles.
Oh, that's big boy.
I know.
Big boy.
Big boy money.
Man. Like I was
but they look good.
I drive a Harley Ultra Classic, and everyone's like, "Oh man, nice bike, dude.
Yeah.
That's nice." You know, and they talk Harley stuff to me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "I'm sorry, I'm not a Harley guy."
Yeah.
But you're driving a Harley, or you're riding a Harley. It's like,
That's what I could get.
well, it's not so much what I can get. I was like, the bike has a huge place in my heart.
Yeah.
But like at the same time, it's not my bike; it's my kid's bike.
Yeah.
So it's like it's really strange for a 10-year-old to own an Ultra Classic already. But I did. I bought it. I bought it. Yeah, I bought it for him. And you know, when his grandfather, you know, sat him down on the bike for the very first time when he was like 2.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the first times I ever seen my oldest like light up like a Roman candle. I'm like, this is cool.
Yeah.
And you know, it like I think it was like a year and a half actually that we actually like sat him on the bike where he could have a full sentence.
Mm-hmm.
Like he talks like a year and a half. He talked really well. And he was like, "Dad, this is my bike. This is my bike." And I'm like, man, my heart's melting right now. I'm like, you hear that, Dave? You hear that, Dave?
Yeah. It's his bike.
It's his bike. It's his bike. So I asked Dave, I said, "Dave, you know, Ethan loves that bike. He really loves that bike. Whenever you're ready to sell it, let me know." And he was ready to sell a couple, like, I don't know, 8 years later. And now we have it.
Nice.
And I was able to obtain that bike for him. And, man, I can't wait until he is able to experience that motorcycle the same time that he experienced it when he was like a year and a half, you know? So I'm waiting to see that
that's
face.
Gonna be cool, man. That's going to be really cool.
But yeah, man, I just want to, thank you for coming on. And, you know, I hope to have you on again.
Yeah, man, I'd love to.
You know, this is like a podcast where we hang out. And if you're driving home or driving to, you know, wherever you're going, and hopefully we can, you know, beat your ear in a positive way to where you want to tune in and listen and you like.
Yeah.
Sorry for all the film talk, but it's going to be film talk. Maybe, you know, maybe we touch base on other things. Maybe next time we'll touch more on military for the military folks out there, and garages for the garage folks out there, and construction life. But yeah, man, dude, just helping me support this podcast, it means a lot to me. And everybody that's been on, thank you again. And I just want everybody to know, like, subscribe, do all that jazz. Hopefully within the next podcast or two, you'll be able to see all of these podcasts on all of the different platforms, and the website's, I think, up. I'm not sure. I have to ask my CEO, my boss, and see if it's all going. And Pinbox Productions is what's allowing us to have all these cool lights and cameras and audio equipment. Pinbox is a company where they help people like me and you start podcasts and create content and YouTube channels and things like that. And they're going to start doing professional Zoom calls and what have you.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah. So thank you for stopping by, guys. And thank you for joining Chris and I. And Chris, dude, thank you for coming in, man. It means a lot to me.
I appreciate it, Bob.
All right,
thank
man.
you very much.
Yeah, man. Take care, guys.